Are foreigners moving to Serbia? Yes. The numbers are not huge, but there were always foreigners moving to Serbia. During communist Yugoslavia, many students from Africa and Asia came to study at Belgrade University. Many Serbs temporarily worked in foreign countries where they married. Afterwards, some Serbs returned to Serbia with their spouses. After the October Revolution in Russia, many Russians came to Serbia as refugees. Serbian painter Olja Ivanytsky's parents came as Russian refugees after 1918. People from neighboring countries often moved to Serbia. This was facilitated during the existence of Yugoslavia. Did Yugoslav wars change this? Yes, but not as much as one would think. It is hard to say how many people moved to Serbia for good. There are seasonal workers and university students who are expected to go back home. I decided to analyze foreigners who obtained Serbian citizenship. From which countries they come from? How many foreigners take Serbian passport? These are official numbers given by the Serbian government. Just to be clear, foreigners do not renounce their previous citizenship in order to get Serbian. In 2021, there were 22,502 foreigners who got Serbian citizenship. We don't know their ethnic background. I assume most of them are ethnic Serbs or have familial ties to Serbia. Most come from former Yugoslav republics, 91.6%, or 20,623 people. The rest come from other European countries. Very few come from distant places. There are many Chinese workers in Serbia, but they are not interested in becoming Serbian citizens. In the report, there are 28 named countries with more than 10 people who took Serbian citizenship. Countries with less than 10 people are not named. There are 160 people coming from unnamed countries. The number is more like statistical error and curiosity. I divided countries into groups for better insight. People coming from former Yugoslav countries. Bosnia, 16,526 or 73% of all new citizens. This is not surprising considering there are many Serbs living in Bosnia. Croatia, 1,394 or 6% of new citizens. Why is such drastic difference in numbers between Bosnia and Croatia? There are several reasons. As Croatia is in EU, most of their citizens migrate to other EU countries like Germany. Plus, the number of Serbs living in Croatia is dropping. The number of Serbs in Croatia in 2011, 186,000, in 2021, 123,000. It would be interesting to know how many ethnic Croats are moving to Serbia. Montenegro, 1,282 or 5.69% of new citizens. It is estimated that 620,000 people live in Montenegro. This means that one Montenegrin out of 483 got Serbian citizenship in 2021 alone. How did I get the number 483? I divided the number of people, 620,000, with the number of new Serbian citizens from Montenegro, 1,282. North Macedonia, 1,151 or 5.1% of new citizens. According to 2021 census, there are 23,847 Serbs in North Macedonia. This means a significant number of newcomers from North Macedonia are not ethnic Serbs. Otherwise, it would mean that 1 in every 20 Macedonian Serbs got Serbian citizenship in 2021 alone. This is highly unlikely. Slovenia, 270 or 1.2% of new citizens. Why so few Slovenians move to Serbia? Again, there are several reasons. Slovenia and Serbia were never close due to cultural and language differences. As Slovenia is part of EU, Slovenians tend to move to other EU countries. Slovenian economy is much better than Serbian. Slovenians wouldn't be interested in coming to Serbia in larger numbers. Now we come to the second group. Balkan countries that weren't part of Yugoslavia. There are very few new citizens coming from these countries. Romania 200, Albania 100, Bulgaria 15, and Greece 10. Romania, Bulgaria, and Greece are part of EU. Albanians are more interested in moving to countries like UK or Switzerland. Next group are EU countries that don't belong to the Balkans. Numbers are really symbolic. Austria 313, Germany 86, France 56, Netherlands 54, Sweden 37, and Italy 11. Why Austrians want Serbian passport? Serbs have significant diaspora in Austria. There is a joke that Austrian capital Vienna is second largest Serb town. The truth is that Serbs are biggest ethnic minority living in Vienna. There are 77,000 Serbs living in Vienna alone according to 2021 census. The next group are European countries outside EU. Russia 197, UK 44, Ukraine 41, Switzerland 36, and Norway 25. Considering current events, I expect to see the rise in numbers of Russians and Ukrainians. The next group comes from North America. US 123 and Canada 101. These numbers are really low considering how many Serbs moved to US and Canada in the last 100 years. Officially, 190,000 Americans and 96,000 Canadians register as Serbian. Unofficial estimations are much higher. The main question is how many people with Yugoslav ancestry actually came from Serbia. Many Americans and Canadians don't know from which part of Yugoslavia their ancestors came. Also, there are people with mixed heritage who don't consider themselves as Serbian. Australia is a similar case. Only 58 Australians took Serbian passport in 2021. There are 95,000 Serbs living in Australia and 25,000 were actually born in Serbia. Many ethnic Serbs migrated from Croatia, Bosnia, and Montenegro to Australia. They were often registered as Yugoslavians. Interestingly, more Croats and Macedonians moved to Australia than Serbs. Next group of countries is Latin America. We know data for only two countries. Argentina 13 and Brazil 13. A few years ago, I read an interview in the newspapers with one Venezuelan woman living in Belgrade. She fell in love with her Serb husband and moved to Serbia. I assume Argentinians and Brazilians would have similar reasons to want Serb passport. What do Serbs think about Latin Americans? Latin American telenovelas were very popular in Serbia until 2010s when Turkish TV series took over. Latin American music is also highly regarded by Serbs. Serbs in general have positive opinion about Latin Americans. Authors like Isabel Allende, Garcia Marquez, Vargas Llosa, Paulo Coelho are among most popular foreign authors in Serbia. The next group are Muslim countries. Iraq 58, Turkey 51, and Syria 11. During 2015 European immigration crisis, 1 million people walked through Serbia to reach EU. Hardly anyone stayed in Serbia. I think the main reason is geographical closeness of Serbia to EU. Why would Syrian stay in Serbia when he is only miles away from EU? EU has much better economy and social care than Serbia. Also, Serbia has a reputation of being anti-Muslim, which isn't true. Gaddafi is still very popular in Serbia. During communist Yugoslavia, many Serbs went to work in Iraq and Libya. Many Serbs supported Palestinians in their fight. Does this mean Serbs wouldn't mind if more Iraqis and Syrians moved to Serbia? Far-right groups in Serbia might voice fears about Islamization of Serbia, but only if the numbers increased drastically. How do I feel about foreigners taking Serbian passports? I have nothing against foreigners who move to Serbia with good intentions. Serbia has a huge number of ethnic minorities living peacefully. Then there is question how many new citizens actually plan to live in Serbia. Some might have taken Serb passports to facilitate their business deals or traveling. Just to be clear, Serbia has extradition treaties with most countries. This means international fugitives cannot hide in Serbia. We are not sure how many Serb citizens moved from Serbia. Some newspapers claimed alarming numbers left the country. Demographers said the situation wasn't that bad. Most of those who left keep their Serbian citizenship. Serbian law allows people to renounce Serbian citizenship. Interesting fact, a person has to pay to be erased from the list of citizens. The last price I heard was €300 or dollars. Some politicians suggested Serbia should raise the price to stop people from renouncing citizenship. But most people are very motivated to renounce the citizenship. Serb newspapers said that countries like Germany and Poland do not recognize dual citizenship. Serb citizens would have to renounce Serbian citizenship to get German or Polish. Among the foreigners who took Serbian citizenship, there were 66 Yugoslavians. How is this possible since Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore? Some people in Serbia never bothered to regulate their citizenship. The end of Yugoslavia didn't mean that citizens automatically got other citizenship. They had to apply for individual citizenship. Thanks to my mother's forward thinking, I had both Yugoslav and Serbian citizenships since birth. When Yugoslavia vanished, I still had my Serbian citizenship. But many parents believed their child only needs Yugoslav citizenship, because they couldn't imagine that Yugoslavia would disappear. Most people sorted out their legal situation during the 1990s. But as we see with these 66 individuals, there are still people with Yugoslav citizenship. Is the number of new citizens rising each year? No, some years see increase and decrease of the number of new citizens. In 2020, there were 28,892 new citizens. I don't know if this was a result of COVID pandemic. Is moving to Serbia a great idea? Serbia is not the best place for life, but Serbia is not the worst place either. Serbia is like any other country in the world. There are good things and there are bad things. I would advise people to make a list of their priorities. Afterwards, one can see if Serbia fulfills their personal requirements. Only then person should make a decision about moving or not moving.